discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, this video is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering you a free audiobook with a 30-day free trial membership. All you need to do is go to audibletrial.com/BGUnlocked. The link is in the description below, and now enjoy the video. Hey everyone, welcome to the discussion for Volfyirion. This is actually set in the game Mysthia, if you remember that game. It was a prototype they sent me with like the moving planets. Same world.
Awesome.
So you can actually incorporate, they came with like monster cards that he can be a monster that you fight in that game. And then they also made another separate game that you can combine both those games, and it's pretty interesting.
Weird.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about Mysthia, we're talking about Volfyirion, which is actually a surprisingly good game. Like, it's, it's your standard deck builder. There's like, you deck build to be able to get your money to be able to buy cards, and then your battle points to attack each other. But they have the third resource, which is knowledge, which can be used for quite a bit. I mean, most deck builders, well, not most, some deck builders are like, it's either attack and money. Like, there's really only those two, and that's all you got. And a lot of them will take a different turn on it. Aeon's End, for example, is a deck builder where you don't shuffle your deck. You organize how your cards go in your discard pile, and you flip it.
Cool.
And you've played Aeon's End before.
Yeah. Well, I just don't remember that part.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's the most unique part, is that you're not buying cards. I mean, they still go in your discard pile, but the cards that you play, so if I'm like playing like my 4 spells, or if I'm playing like 4 cards, then I can be like, okay, I'm going to order it like this, and that goes in my discard pile. Then whenever it flips, you know what you're going to be getting.
Okay.
So most of them are just, you just shuffle and then hope you get what you get. Which I used to hate in deck building. Like, I despised deck building. Because it's like, why can't I use what I just bought?
Right.
Like, I hate that.
Well, it's like, oh, you ordered it in the production.
Right, right. And that's kind of how you have to thematically twist it in your head to make it work. So yeah, I mean, what do you think? What do you think of this game?
It's not bad. It feels really balanced.
You think so?
It does. I like the 3 different resources.
Yeah, like, you can literally tell how balanced, because it was literally like a turn away and I would have won, which kind of bugs me, just because if a game can be decided on turn order, then it's like, how is that fair?
Yeah.
It's like, we literally just randomly...
Yeah, that's true. What it's lacking is something to kind of... Because usually a game will say, oh, like, here's a little extra if you're going later. Yeah. To try and even that out. Yeah, but it didn't really give you anything like that. We both had 5 cards. Yeah. And however they came out is the generation we're going to get.
Exactly. And so it's like, okay, well, you're going first, so you get first dibs at the cards out there, and then... you, like, it doesn't, like, ever have, like, a different round where it's like, okay, you go, then I go, and then, oh, okay, new round, change first player, so then I go, then you go. Because it's 1v1, they don't really do that.
That's true, yeah.
So it's just like, if you're going first, and that's kind of my biggest negative. My first negative was that card that just let him move the Volfyirion.
Yeah.
But then we found out that you had to get rid of that specific card to do it.
Yeah, now with that clarification, it really... opened up the game a little more, because I felt like some of these cards were like, whoa, this is... Yeah, because there was just like, oh, I'm just going to remove all these cards just to remove more prospectors in my deck out. It's like, no, that's a one-time use. So, I do like that, how I always like multi-use cards, so it's like, okay, well, I have stabbed, I can give him my 2, or I can get rid of him to draw a card, so you have some options with the cards in your hand. But other than that, yeah, like, my only real negative is that turn order is just like, okay, yay, lucky me, I get to go first every single time. So, and they give you plenty of uses for the different resources, and I like that they don't make, one resource seem like, less, because I remember before, the first few times we played, you were the knowledge guy, and I was the combat guy, and like the combat worked out at one point, and then it didn't at all.
Knowledge was all over the place.
Knowledge, it's like combat, you're going to gather all the wonders, but knowledge, you're going to seal all the wonders.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what I did, because my next turn was, if I didn't have 8 to be able to send him to you, or actually, no, I had to move him, I was going to use my stuff to seal your wonders, because then you wouldn't have had the combat
Right.
Which, that's an interesting take on it, because yeah, it's knowledge. Knowledge doesn't really do a whole lot early game. Like, it kind of maybe can help you cycle some cards out, but it's really, really helpful late game. Like, it's probably, I don't know, like, because the command points get you the good cards that you need, and then combat gets you your permanent stations, and I love the permanent station idea that those are there, and you can seal them. Some of them you can actually steal, which is alright. I actually would prefer they all can only be sealed. You can't steal them from each other. Because it's like, well, I bought that. Like, why do you just get it? And then, I don't know, like, there's, I don't know, with, like, the defense of your towns. Now, personally, I would rather play this game where you can rebuild them, just because, and there's two reasons why I say that. One, because halfway through the game, it's really not that hard to move Volfyirion. Like, so it's just like, bam, oh, unlucky you don't have 8 knowledge, so sucks to suck.
Right.
I happen to have a good hand of cards, so I get to move him. You don't really get to do a whole lot, so he gets destroyed. So I would like it where you can build them back, because that's a lot. 5 power, 5 knowledge, and 8 command to be able to build just the 8 back.
That's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
And then that's like a wasted turn, and then you're constantly playing catch up.
Exactly.
So I don't really see that. Yeah.
Well, because it is so random in your hand draw that it's like, if I can build this and then you have a shitty hand where you can't destroy it again, then I immediately catch back up in that regard. Because then I might get a good hand of cards to be able to destroy yours, and you won't have the resources to be able to build it back up. Yeah, so it's interesting. Like, the seal effect of the wonders is pretty cool. I really like the idea. It didn't happen in this game, but in one game I did have 16 to be able to destroy them, so that wipes it, but you get that as a resource, or as a 4th city, which is really cool. So yeah, like, they do a lot of things that are unique, and it's actually, like, for Kickstarter that I backed on a whim, just because I'm like, ah, sure, it's like $15 or something.
Yeah.
I actually like it quite a bit. Let's see. This miniature did nothing. Because it's, I don't see a point in it, because it's weird, because it's like, okay, I'm going to spend 10 knowledge and battle total, like, combined and draw this. Okay, what is it? Oh, it's a 5. So that means, okay, what's in your discard pile? Oh, I'll spend this card and a 5, and now that's over 8, so now it can get removed. It's just, because what are they? It's a 5, 4, 2, 1, and 3. Okay, so 1 to 5. I mean, the miniature is badass. Like, and it has some heft to it, really well designed. But ultimately, it's like, I don't see a point in kind of playing with it.
It's like, ooh, I get rid of something cool that they have.
But only if it's in their discard pile.
Yeah, and there's like, I don't know, none of the really cards have too much weight to them that you want to put that kind of energy into getting rid of one.
Right.
I mean...
But the other reason I was actually saying I'd like to play with building these back up is because there's no reaction to the other player. Like, so whenever, like at the very last round in our game, whenever I saw that you had enough to destroy it, it's like, okay, we'll just end it here. Just because I can't stop you from doing anything. The only thing I can do is make it tougher for you to destroy the city, which I like. I like that you can put troops and buildings on them. But I don't know. I think it's just because I played Magic.
Yeah. And
there's the other game, Keyforge, where you just sat and watched your opponent do everything, and you had no way to stop them from, like, stealing your Ember, or stealing your card, destroying all your troops. This kind of also has that feel, where I can't stop you from doing anything, and you can't stop me from doing anything. So really, if I just have a shit ton of knowledge, I can just seal your things, and, oh, sucks to suck. Like, oh, you didn't get a good hand of cards? Like, so it looks like they're out. I would have just liked more interaction between players.
Gotcha.
But, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. Like, I think that's more of just the Magic player in me talking.
Counterspell.
Really, I mean, yeah, like instants and card play that can prevent people from taking the things that you worked so hard to get. But at the end of the day, this game took 30 minutes to play. So it's really, if it was a longer game, I'd probably have more issues with that. But if you want a longer game, then you just include the building restructure. I don't know. Do you have any negatives with the game?
I mean, I haven't played enough deck builders to really criticize. Between what's good and what's bad. I mean, it felt balanced. I mean, you know, me who haven't played a lot, I felt like I kind of caught on to it a little better.
I mean, it is a simple game.
Yeah,
too.
it's simple and very easy to understand. I mean, you teach this in seconds.
Yeah. Even though it seems more complicated than it can be, because it's like, here are all the things you can do on your turn. You just list a whole bunch of stuff, but it's all really simple. And I like how you can do any of them as many times as you like. Yeah,
I mean, you can use like all the resources you come out every time you lay down your hand. You have a use for all your resources. Like even if you just have a little bit of combat, you can get a small one there. You have a little bit of knowledge. You could cycle some cards, maybe go get something better, or you know, like, oh, he's gonna want that. I'll toss that.
Yeah,
you know, it's just got uses for all your resources. Even if it is like a shitty pull, you might just have enough.
Yeah.
So
I like how they have multiple ways to actually thin your deck out. Like, a lot of deck builders, you have to kind of build that way.
You build to thin?
You kind of have to do something like that. Not all. A lot of them do a pretty good job at thinning your deck out, but yeah, there's some where it's like, oh, this particular card is the only one you can get that thins your deck out. This one, there's multiple ways. Like, every time you buy one of these, and you're most likely tossing prospectors.
Yeah.
Like, they're not really doing much. But yeah, like, it's a pretty neat little game. Like, I mean, I'm going to keep it because I think it's a good enough deck builder, that 1v1 strategy where, at least, I will say, even though I lost, I think this one was the closest one than the other ones that we played. Because one, you just blew me out of the water with combat.
I mean...
But we also played the discard.
Yeah, both those games we did that wrong.
And we both played that wrong in both games, so it was still balanced, I guess. Yeah. And then the other game, I blew you away with knowledge. I'm just like, oh, and combat, because I'm just going to seal all your shit, and I'm going to destroy his thing, and then, it was... So this one was literally like, oh man, if I can get to go one more time, then I can stop him. And alright, well, I'm trying to think if there's anything I could have done in my gameplay to have prevented that. No, if you didn't move him, well, you moved him back with the card that you got, just because, that was the other thing that actually bugged me, because there were 2 instances in this game where you being able to go first actually helped you. Getting the card, the card that lets you move him by getting rid of it, I had 6 battle in my hand that next turn, so you went first, so you had enough to get it, and I didn't. And then the one to be able to destroy my final city. So, I don't know, like, unless I'm missing a rule where turn order changes, because I forgot, because I was thinking, I'm like, man, I was 1 turn behind, otherwise I would have been able to buy that card. I really don't like that card. Like, it doesn't say anything about turn order. This is finally end your turn. So, you just kind of clean up, and that might be my biggest negative with this game, is just turn order does not change, and I don't know if it would even fix it. If like, okay, you went first this time, so you kind of snake draft almost. You go, I go, you go, and you just kind of go like that. So everyone has equal chances of going first, because there was another game that Josh, Kat, and I played where Josh just kept getting like free victory points just because cards happen to come out after our turns. So it's like, oh, well, it's my turn, great, I get to go and just snag those. It's like, okay, like, and like I said, I don't know, like, it could have just been happenstance in this game that both those times I was 1 turn behind to be able to get something that was game breaking. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. So, scale of 1 to 10.
Well, it wasn't bad. I mean, it's like I played again. It's just so quick.
I remember the guys at Gen Con were like, they were like, is that Volfyirion? That game's amazing. It's like, alright, calm down.
Whoa, keeping your pants. I'll give it. I mean, it is really, for what it is, I think they did a really good job with it. It's simple enough. I mean, it's like I'm torn between 7 and 8.
I'm giving it a 7.
Yeah.
Like,
So I'll do 7.5.
7.5.
7.5.
Yeah. Like,
I mean,
it's still good.
Yeah.
Like, and I do enjoy playing it. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it is a very small deck building game, so it's not too grandiose, but it is a pretty good 1v1. That if you do want kind of that, like, that 1v1 strategic battle, like, then this is a pretty good one to pick. So, 7.5, 7, cool. So that's our thoughts on Volfyirion, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. Click the, no, that's not it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this, and if you like this video, then click the subscribe button below to enjoy any video that I put out. And right next to that subscribe button is a little bell. Click that so you get notified of whenever I actually upload these videos. If you want to support the channel, you can definitely visit my Patreon page. The link is in the description below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.